After so many years of studying yoga and spirituality and the ethereal part of it, when I started studying the plants, the territory, the medicinal herbs, starting to interact with the soil, with the earth, with the ground, helped me develop the grounded spirituality, a terrenal spirituality. I can see the spirit of things here in the soil, in the cycles of the earth, the cycles of the plants and the people. Everything on earth is cycles. Everything, therefore, in our lives are cycles. We are cyclical creatures. The more time I spend outdoors, touching nature, harvesting only what I am certainly going to use for a determined end, the more I understand what the meaning of all these cycles is for me and for my spiritual growth. It's the first time that I experienced touching spirituality, getting in actual contact with something highly spiritual and therefore frightening. My hands shiver as I cut the flowers, the most subtle creation of the plant world. It's the first time that I feel I can touch the concept of spirituality and not just imagine it, but feel its scent, see its colors, taste its flavors, touch its texture. This feeling is the most humbling feeling I've ever felt. I question myself. What's the right of me touching and intervening in all this beauty? What gives me the right to cut a flower? And therefore, it makes me think of the processes I embark myself into. I only cut a flower if I am going to do a medicine that will help me be more in contact with nature, more in contact with spirituality. I ask the flowers when I collect them, how can I help them? How can I possibly intervene in a positive way in this perfectly balanced environment? I ask them to share their knowledge with me on how I can be less selfish, what I can give in return for all this abundance. As I collect impatience, I realize my own impatience. I realize how I do things clumsily, without grace, doubting myself, insecure, the lack of confidence and the thought that acting quick without being seen is better than taking some time to feel, taking some time to acknowledge my emotions. So I ask impatience to help me find the time to acknowledge my emotions before I act. I take the spirits home as I walk back with my pouch of flowers. I want them to know me so that they can help me improve myself, so that they can see my life and see my possibilities and see my energies, and hopefully help me balancing myself for being a better human. You are welcome into my house because I have nothing to hide. I am inside out. I am willing to show my darkest secrets to you in the hopes of transmutation. I humbly offer myself, my living experience to the spirits of nature. Let's collaborate. Let's act together so we can help each other. Hello, witches and wizards, and welcome to episode 4 of Medicinae Siderum's podcast, titled Impatiens. This is Luciana, the Plant Alchemist, your host, and remember, you can find me by the name The Plant Alchemist on Instagram and also on YouTube, where I have posted many beautiful witchy videos about my practice. So my story with this plant was quite fascinating. One afternoon, I was doing one of my forest walks for advice, and this wild flower had taken over the whole grove for the first time in the summer. This incredible flower calls my attention, so I take a photo of it, and it turns out it is called Himalayan balsam, or Impatiens. My head started spinning. I knew this name. For the past few months, I had been consulting a Bach Flower Essences oracle and had been getting preparations from a professional Bach flowers therapist based on my readings. And now I had just found one of the Bach flowers, Impatiens. Lo and behold, a plant essence for those who go too fast all the time. It was perfect for me at that moment, so I got the message, and I decided to collect some of the flowers and make my own essence at home under the summer sun. And this is where that poem was born, asking Impatiens to help me acknowledge myself when I'm in a rush, help me feel and acknowledge my emotions, realize where I am, how I'm doing things, instead of just go, go, go all the time. Walks of advice are always amazing like that. And after this event, I went to Navan Fort. This is a beautiful Celtic recreation centre in the province of Armagh in Northern Ireland. And in there, I discovered another flower essences system. It was a booklet of a local woman who developed 5 flower essences in the style of Bach, but with local Irish flowers, buttercup being one of them. And I also made the buttercup essence at home, but that is a story for another time. For now, I leave you with this tale and encourage you to listen to the signs, to pay attention to your surroundings, and to trust nature's wisdom. Ask your questions and walk with curiosity, and you will receive help to understand much of yourself. Thank you for being here with me one more week, friends. And remember that below in the description, I'm going to leave some links to some of the places and books and stories that I have mentioned in this podcast, so that if you want to do an extra research, you can go ahead and extend the content of this episode with your own research. Thank you very much, and see you next time.